What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about doing research in psychology. Even if you're not a psych major and you can do research, these are some tips that you can take and use in terms of actually doing research, finding research, and all of that good stuff. So if you want to see some tips on how to do research in psychology, then just keep on watching. So for those of you who do not know, I am a forensic psychology major and I do research. I have been to research conferences and things like that in the past, and I'm also doing a research paper this summer that will be published in a scholarly journal. So the first tip that I have in terms of doing research is to find a topic that aligns with what you're interested in or what you want to do in the long run. Or at least find something that is similar to what you want to do. If you're interested in clinical psych, you shouldn't be doing research in school psychology because that doesn't really help you. Try not to just go and find random research to do just to get the experience or just to put it on your application, because when you go to grad school, they're going to ask you, how did this help you at all? And you're not going to be able to answer that question because it wasn't really what you were interested in, or it didn't really align with the field that you wanted to go into. So try to find something as close to as what you want to do as possible. I know that may be very hard because there may not be a lot of research opportunities at the school that you go to, but if you can do research at other schools and they have other research opportunities that is what you want to research, then I highly suggest trying to do that. Just because you don't want to put something down on your resume and when someone asks you about it, you really can't answer it, or you say, I only did it for the experience, that's really not a good look. So that is my first tip. My second tip is to find a research professor that you like. I know that sounds like really weird because you're thinking I'm just there to do the research. I don't really care if I like the professor, but that really does make a difference in how hard you want to work, your work ethic. It makes a difference in whether or not you want to get up and go to lab and do research and things like that. So I've had a friend who did research with a professor in the psych department that everyone hated, and he said it was the worst time of his life and he would never ever do research with that professor again. And it just makes the experience a lot worse when you have to spend a semester with someone that you don't like. It's different from being in class with them and having to do one-on-one things with them like every day of the week. It's completely different. So try to find a professor who does research in the area that you want to do research in, and a professor that you like. Please do not pick a professor that you hate, because trust me, it's not going to end well unless you're a person that can just suck it up and deal with stuff like that. But me personally, I am not like that. So just try to pick a professor that you like. So once you get into a research lab, I highly suggest you do everything that you can in that lab. If there's different opportunities that your professor presents to you, I highly recommend taking them, as long as you can handle the workload and as long as it doesn't interfere with things like your other school work or if you have a job and things like that. Just because a lot of the opportunities are amazing. Like I said, I've been to research conferences, I'm going to be writing an article, and those are all opportunities my professor has presented to me, and they were amazing opportunities. I have presented at two research conferences, but one I presented at twice because it's an annual research conference. So, I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. You are going to be presenting research maybe for the rest of your career, and it is a great way to get the experience because it's normally all undergraduate students. I am going to be going to a research conference, I think it's in October, and it is like a nationwide conference with different professionals and students, so it's not just undergraduate students this time, it's actually professionals in the field. And I'm very nervous and I'm very scared, but I do feel like this would be a great opportunity for me. So definitely try to take any and all opportunities, if possible, that your professor presents to you. Another tip that I have is to learn how to take constructive criticism. I know that sounds like a very weird tip, but not a lot of people know how to take constructive criticism. So when it comes down to doing research and doing procedures and different things, there may be something about your ethic that you can tweak, and your professor may tell you that. It's not to be taken personal. It's not to be taken as the professor doesn't like you or they're critiquing every little thing that you do. They're trying to help better you for when you go to graduate school, because graduate school is cutthroat. They're not going to hold your hand. They're just basically going to tell you in so many words that you suck, and they may even tell you that this is not for you. So please learn how to take constructive criticism. Your professor is only trying to help you. They're only trying to help better you. I know it sounds like they're just hurting your feelings, but please don't take it personal. You have to remember, these are professionals. They've probably been doing this longer than you've been born. So they know exactly what to do, what not to do. They've probably seen people, or they may have done the things that you've done, and they've gotten that same constructive criticism as well. Remember, there is a difference in constructive criticism and just a flat out insult. And I highly doubt your professor is just going to flat out insult you. So mainly it's just going to be constructive criticism. So keep that in mind. In terms of research, don't just limit yourself to only doing the research inside of lab or whenever you're in lab. Try to do outside research as well when you go home and you finish all of your homework and stuff like that. Try to do outside research, especially if it's something that you're interested in. You learn so much, and that may be information that you could take to your professor and say, look, here's what other people have found. Here's what other researchers have done. This is their results. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we could do this. Maybe we can add this. Like, you know, try to bring new ideas to the table. Try to bring new research to the table. Yes, your professor may have already seen it or knew about it, or they may have participated in it or whatever, but at least it shows them that you are really interested in what you're researching and that you're actually committed to what you're doing. This may come as common sense, but please work hard, because your research professors are more than likely going to write you letters of recommendation as long as you do what you're supposed to do, you put in the work. So those are people that you can get letters of recommendations from for graduate school. So work as hard as you can. I know everyone has bad days. Some people even have really bad semesters, so you may not put your 100% into it. But try to communicate with them. They're almost like a mentor to you. You may even ask them to be your mentor. My research professor is my mentor. And if I'm having a bad day or an off week or something, I'll let them know, like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm really not my best. I will still get the work done, but I'm kind of sluggish. I'm kind of, you know, feeling down or whatever, just so they know that you're just not interested anymore, and they know, okay, well, so and so is having a bad day, so I know, I get it, I understand, we all have our bad days. Please remember that your professors are human. They've been there, they've done that, they've bought the t-shirt. You're not the first person to go through it. They've, like I said, probably been through it. They've probably done it. They've probably seen people go through it or do it. So they are understanding people for the most part. Please do not try to BS your way through research or anything like that. Please just try to work as hard as you can. This is an amazing opportunity. If you get the chance to do research, the opportunities are endless. You can do so much. Again, it looks good on your resume, especially if you're going into a PhD, which is more research based. You have those skills that you're going to be using. Granted, you're going to be using them at a greater magnitude in graduate school, but you have an idea of how the process works, and you're not kind of behind all of your fellow students. So if you have the opportunity to do research, please don't take it for granted, because there are some people who won't have the opportunity to do research. If you can do even like internships or things like that, is kind of like the same thing, where you get to watch someone do something and you get to get an idea of how things are going to work. Graduate school, like I said, is no joke. I've been preparing for graduate school for the past 2 years, and I graduate this upcoming May. And when I tell you I still feel like I'm not ready, I've been doing research for the past year and a half. I've been doing research conferences and things like that, and I still feel like I'm not ready. So you really won't be ready until you actually get there. But to prepare yourself is amazing. So try not to take it for granted. I know that sounds, you know, like cliche or whatever, but please try not to take it for granted. A lot of people would kill to be able to do research, so just think about it as this is an amazing opportunity. This is your time to shine. This is your time to learn and show your professor that graduate school is for you. So yeah, last and final tip that I have is to be excited, be happy about the research that you're doing. That goes hand in hand with doing something that you're actually interested in. You do not want to dread showing up to lab because you're not interested in the topic and you only chose it because you wanted to do research for your resume. Just be excited about the research that you're doing. Make sure it's something that you're passionate about, something that you're interested in, something that you love, and you will be amazed at all the things that you can find, all the things that you can learn, all of the opportunities career-wise that are out there for what you're interested in. Like, once you do what you love and what you're passionate about, everything else just kind of follows. So please do not do something that you hate or that you're not interested in just for the sake of doing it and just for the sake of being able to write it on your resume, because you're going to hate it. You're going to dread doing it. You're not going to want to go. You're going to half-ass it, and your professor's going to see that, and that is not a good look. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video.